Want a soar? Get a mentor. Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and we make these videos because you're the probably most ambitious person in your circle, and you get a push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, on you have the power to control the world, and here's how it works. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Stop using weak language.
You have the power to control your world, how you think, how you act, your mindset with the words that you speak. When you use weak language, you signal to yourself that you are weak. You signal to yourself that your goals aren't important. You signal to yourself that you are not worth it. You lose respect for yourself, and the people around you don't respect you either. We need to stop using weak language and pay attention to the words that you're speaking to others and to yourself. Now, this is not an easy task because most of the words that you're using, the way that you talk to others and to yourself, you're on autopilot, you're on cruise control. It just happens. You've been doing this for years or decades. And so switching it is not going to happen overnight. But if you pay attention to the next 3 things that I'm going to share with you, it can have a dramatic impact on your self-confidence, on the goals that you have for yourself, and on the outcomes you create for yourself in the world. Let's do it. Number 1, I can't, I'm not, I don't. What you say after those 3 things shapes your identity. It speaks to how you think and speak about yourself. So I can't be an entrepreneur. I can't be a leader. I can't be a YouTuber. I can't. Especially this one. When you say I can't, pay very, 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 very close attention to what follows and try to shift it from I can't to either I choose not to or I can't yet. I'm not a good salesperson. I'm not funny. I'm not the kind of person who follows through. Again, pay close attention and try to shift it to not yet. I don't program. I don't know how to make money. I don't think like that. Switch I don't to I don't yet. I can't, I'm not, I don't. Those statements are final. Those statements don't allow for growth. Those statements are how you feel about yourself and don't allow for the stretch. They don't allow you to get better. And so either eliminate them from your vocabulary or change them to yet. Number 2 is catch your cruise control. The way that you have been speaking about yourself, the way that you have been talking to yourself has been happening using the same words for years, maybe even decades. It's so automatic for you. You are on cruise control. You are on autopilot. You think small and talk negatively about yourself without even thinking about it. You need to catch your cruise control. And listen, don't be too hard on yourself. This is so ingrained. These patterns have been around for so long. You are just auto-defaulting to cruise control that most of these times you will not even catch it. You will not catch 99% of these moments, of these words, of these languages that you're using for yourself. But if you have the awareness, if you have the intention, if you have the desire, every now and then, you will catch it. Another quick hack is to enlist a friend, enlist the people around you, your wife, your husband, your team, your kids especially. My son Hayden loves calling me out on things. Enlist their help. Tell them, this is where I want to play a bigger game. This is where I'm frustrated with myself. This is where I keep talking badly about myself and putting myself down. These are the words, the language that I need to change. And every time you hear me talking this way, I need you to bring it to my awareness and let me know because I want to catch my cruise control. For me personally, it's around complaining. Anytime I complain, I want my wife, I want my team, I want my son, I want the people around me to say, Evan, you are complaining. Right there, that was a complaint. Eat it, right? I'm happy for them to hug me with it, to yell at me with it. I just want them to let me know. Now, when I told everybody, they said, listen, you barely complain. You're like the least complaining person that we know. Awesome, thank you, I'm humbled, but I still complain. And I probably complain a lot, and a lot of the times I'm missing it. And so please, 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 even if you think I'm great at it, if you catch me complaining, I want you to call me out on it. So enlisting your friends can be really helpful because you will likely not catch most of them yourself, but it's imperative that that you start working on catching your cruise control. Step number 3 is manual override. You have caught your cruise control. You have found the autopilot. It's about to happen again. This negative talk that you're about to speak out into the world about yourself or your ideas, you putting yourself down, is about to come out again or has just come out. What do you do about it? Because this is really important. If you catch yourself playing small or talking negatively about yourself, if you catch it and you don't do anything, it actually makes it worse. It's better that you don't even catch it at all. If you catch it and you recognize I am playing small right now, and you ignore it and you don't change your behavior, you are building that identity for yourself that you are somebody who is playing small. You are consciously building that identity for yourself, and you need to stop it. It makes it worse. Where when you do catch it, when you find yourself falling into those patterns, those behaviors that you don't want anymore, whether you find it yourself or somebody's calling you out on it, what do? You need to kick your manual override into action and take the action that you want, because that starts building the positive habit. That starts building the positive respect. This is how you build respect for yourself. This is how you start building the muscle. This isn't just a zero-sum game. This isn't just we go back to neutral. When you catch it, you either go sliding down or you go propelling up. The choice is yours. When you catch yourself playing small, when you catch yourself coming off of cruise control, you have to do the thing that builds the self-respect up and speak positively about yourself and do the thing that you are scared to do. Now, as a quick little bonus tip, I like to catch it in other people as well. There are some key phrases that when people say, it triggers me into calling somebody else out on it in a really friendly way, but makes them think. And so one of them for me is when people sign off and say, take it easy. When I've had a great conversation with somebody or I'm meeting them one-on-one and we leave, they say, take it easy. I always stop. Maybe I'm heading out the door. Maybe I'm about to hang up the phone, or I don't use a phone, but on the computer, I'm about to hang up. They're about to get into their car, or I'm about to leave. I stop and I come back in and I say, never tell me to take it easy. I get the intention. The intention is good. They're just throwing words out there. The intention is good. But what are they saying? I don't want to take it easy. Even if it means relaxing, even if it means I'm going to go on vacation, I'm going to have a great weekend, I don't want to take it easy. I want to have the best weekend of my life. I want to have the best vacation of my life. Don't tell me to take it easy. And so when I call somebody out on it, it forces them to not only examine that one sentence, it forces them to examine the other words that they're just throwing out there. And if I do it enough for people, the next time they tell somebody else to take it easy at the end, they catch themselves too. Because those are not the words that they want to use. If you sat down at the end of a conversation and say, these are the final words that I'm going to tell somebody before they go on with their day, what do I want those words to be? It makes you think. Because it probably won't be, take it easy.
Rule number 2, just try your hardest.
You need to tie your self-respect to your efforts, not your results. Where you get your self-love from, your self-respect, your self-confidence should not come from winning. It comes from trying. Because if you tie your self-respect to winning, you'll only do things that you know you're going to win at, and therefore you play small for life. So I'm training a guy on my team who I've promoted, and I'm putting him in a position that is way beyond his skill set, way beyond what he thought he'd be doing, and it's a big push outside his comfort zone. Here was a guy who was doing a bunch of admin tasks for me, and now he's in charge of all of my YouTube analytics. I want him to be my data guy. I want him to go through the thousands of videos that I have on my channel and make recommendations to say, this intro is too long, this intro is too short, this thumbnail sucks. You know, when you talk, Evan, things blow up or things suck. When you wear black, people love it. Anything. Go through all the data, go through all the analytics, and tell me where we need to make improvements. So I was on a call with him yesterday, and I had to have a serious talk with him because he's looking for data that supports his hypothesis. Because he suggested on my channel, my main channel, that we go back to my original intros where I say one sentence here, one sentence here, and one sentence here, and then he's Robert S. Smith, and here's my take on his top 10 rules of success, right? That's what we did way back, like in the very first original series of the top 10s, and we've evolved. So he suggested take out the song, take out the intro, take out a whole bunch of stuff and just do those 3 things. And let's see if it works. So that's what I did. Like, great, good idea. The data supported it, backed it up. Let's go and try. We haven't tried it. We won't know. So we tried it. The first video came up was the Robert F. Smith Top 10 Rules for Success on that new template. And I'm looking at the data and it sucked. You know, my goal is to get 70% audience retention at 1 minute. That's my goal across my channels. 70% audience retention at 1 minute. That means 30% of people max have left at the 1 minute mark. That's an insanely high goal to reach. Almost nobody hits that, especially consistently. You might think, oh, 70%, it's easy. It's insanely difficult in the YouTube world. So I looked at the numbers for this one, and it was 52% or something brutal. We don't really operate in the 52% range. So this one came in, it was brutal. 52%, like having a heart attack. Oh, it sucked. People hate this. And then I asked him, hey, how are we doing on the new videos? And he sent me this report that says, hey, well, on our relative data is up. You know, our relative of data saying compared to all videos on YouTube, this video is doing well in the first minute. Yeah, but that's not actually the real story, because all of our videos relative to regular YouTube, if you're looking at any video, this video, my first video, all of them, every video I make relative to a normal average YouTube video, were higher relative. That's not what I'm looking for. We're going after 70% audience retention at 1 minute. You know this. This is where we're focused. And behind all of it was he just didn't want to feel like a failure. He didn't want to feel like he recommended something to me and it didn't work out. That he's trying to justify it by saying, well, look, this stat shows that it works. But it's not what we're after. This experiment so far has been an epic failure, and that's okay. What I need you to do is expect to suck. Expect the ideas not to work. Know that coming in. Know that coming in, we're already operating at a really high level, right? If every experiment that we try works, that means that we just sucked at the beginning, right? We sucked. You're learning. You're picking this up. Most of my new experiments don't work. I'm trying hundreds of new things all the time, and most of them won't work. I expect to suck. But it's okay because I tie my self-worth to the effort. Am I putting my max effort out? Your experiment, I'm talking to the guy, your experiment was a great test. I backed it. The data suggested we do it, but it's not working. And we'll give it a month to see. And if it still doesn't work, we're going to move on and do something else. And he felt really bad. And he said, don't tie your self-respect to winning. Like, if we get a win, it's amazing. But it has to be to the effort. Like, you tried, you did a lot of work, you dug deep, you found stuff, you came up with a recommendation that was legit, that was solid, that was valuable. It wasn't put Evan in a butterfly suit and have him fly around the city saying top 10 rules, right? It wasn't crazy. It made sense. And whether it works or not, we need to make the best decisions, because if we just took data that we thought was good but wasn't actually our goal, if we twisted the data to make it fit our goals, make it look like we're winning, everybody loses. Everybody loses. If I keep that intro, everybody loses. I lose, he loses, you guys, the audience lose, we all lose. All because he was afraid of losing, right? Net, you lose. Same thing for you. If you're only going to take on things that you know you're going to win at, you're losing. You're losing. If you tie your self-esteem to winning, then you only take on things that you know you're going to win at or have a high degree of chance of winning, right? 80% chance of winning. Might be a little bit of discomfort. 20% chance it may not work out. That's the zone that most people operated in. They're barely pushing their comfort zone. They're staying inside what they know. And so, yay, you're winning all day long, but you're winning at small stuff. Where you're capable of more, you're capable of bigger things, you're capable of having a huge impact. Let's go. To get there, you're gonna fail, you're gonna suck. Your first attempts won't work, just like all of your heroes. All of your heroes, their first attempts did not work. They failed, they sucked, and they kept going. But if you woke up and every day you tied your self-respect to, I'm gonna do my darndest today, right? I'm gonna push my face in to make sure that I make some progress today. If you're proud of your effort, if every day you are proud of the effort that you put in, could you tell yourself that whatever your mission is, that you're proud of your effort on a daily basis for how much you work towards it? For most people, it's no. For most, it's not even close. How many days have you had in the past year where you're proud of your effort, the work you put in? For most people, it's not that much. Maybe moments, but days, weeks, months. If you woke up every day and were proud of your effort for what you did yesterday, you're gonna do it again, I promise you, you're gonna win. That's what winning actually looks like. Waking up and losing most of the day and being proud of your effort. And then you look back at what's happened in the past year. It's like, holy cow, that crazy staircase that I built. I never thought I could do it. Where most people are so focused on just winning and they get to the first step of life. So I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that can start you on your journey. This is important. Let's get to it. Step number 1, what's something you can fail at today? Anything, just get used to failing. Remove the sting of failing. What's something that you can fail at today? Do something that you know is not gonna work. Make your first video, post it on YouTube. Fail, right? Ask somebody for their phone number on the street. You know, somebody of the same sex. If that's not how you roll, right? Somebody where like, you know you're gonna fail. Just do it, just to remove the sting of that. Realize that failing is not that bad. Failing is not fatal. It's okay. What can you fail at today? Something small. Step number 2, why are you proud of your effort for trying? Why are you proud? Why are you proud of you just failed? Why are you proud? You didn't get the result. It didn't work. Why are you proud of yourself? Because I put in the effort, right? What's the effort? How can you say, man, I am so proud of myself for trying to do that scary thing? Because conquering scary things through action is the thing that you want to be proud of yourself for, because you tie your self-worth to you being the person who does difficult things. You do difficult things, not you win at small things in life. Make that shift. So that thing you're going to fail at, what are you going to tell yourself you're proud for? And then step number 3 is, how will you celebrate the attempt? How do you celebrate? Celebrate. Pat yourself on the back, clap it up, post to social media. I do film all these on a little mini trampoline. How are you going to celebrate? Put on music. Feel it. Feel the joy. Feel the happiness. Feel the energy that you get for trying something difficult. You tried something difficult. That's amazing. This is a big shift for most people. This is weird thinking, but this is successful thinking. What's the difference between you and these people who've had success? Hasn't been money, they started with less than you. Hasn't been connections and resources, they started with less than you. Why? It's this difference in mindset. Successful people think differently. Reward yourself for trying. Celebrate yourself for the failure, for trying, for the effort. Because if you celebrated the effort and you are proud of the effort every single day of the next 10 years of your life, holy cow, the person you will become is going to be very impressive. And you're going to be shocked looking back at how far that you actually built your life.
Rule number 3, dream big.
It can be hard to keep perspective when you hit a rough patch. It can be hard to stay sane and stay motivated and stay optimistic when you fall on tough times, when something doesn't go right, when the market slows down, when you lose a big customer. And that's part of the game of being an entrepreneur. We're gonna have these highs and lows, but hopefully we're moving forward in a positive direction. And part of winning as an entrepreneur is just sticking with it. It's just staying on the path. It's just every day getting up and being consistent and moving forward. You only really lose if you give up, right? And so you can lose little battles, but if you keep going, you're gonna win the war. And I think what really helps you keep consistent and keep motivated and keep on every day getting up and fighting is remembering the why, is remembering your big dream, the big goal, what you're trying to accomplish. And so for me, I think about untapped potential. I think the biggest problem in the world is untapped human potential. I think if we can solve that, we solve all the major problems of the world. And I think the way to help untap people, or help to unlock them, help bring out that potential is through the environment, right? You may not have that with your friends and your family, your parents, the people around you, but you can get that from the books and videos and the resources that you watch and consume. And so it's why I created this YouTube channel. It's like what keeps me motivated on a daily basis is thinking about that big problem. The biggest problem the world is facing is untapped human potential. And if I can create content that slowly moves people forward, slowly helps unlock a little bit of potential, if you keep hearing the same message multiple times from different people, slowly it starts to seep in, right? The more time you spend around successful people, the more you want to become successful, the more you adopt their mindset and positivity. And the more you hang around people who are not accomplishing things, who are complaining and who are negative, the more you're going to be like those people. And so my solution is to create that for you, for myself. I want to be around uber successful people and have their mindset seep into me.
Rule number 4, chart your start.
Creating daily success routines is the secret to getting everything that you want. Everything that you want out of life, out of business, your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, everything that you want lie on the other side of what you are doing daily, of your daily success, habits, and routines. I think we let ourselves down by default. I think we worry about other people's opinions by default. I think we play small every day by default. I think you should have already accomplished a lot of the things that are on your list, but you're stuck in procrastination mode because you are playing small by default, because you are not consistent, because you do not have the habits on a daily basis to keep going. Consistency is the difference maker. And so how do you stay consistent? I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to do it. Number 1 is chart your start. What you do in the first 15 minutes of your day matters. Chart your start. Have a plan of action. Most people wake up like an accident. Most people wake up, they're tired, you pull out your phone, you start looking at your email, and what are you doing when you're looking at your email or looking at social media? You're responding to other people's emergencies. Like you wake up, you're tired, and the first thing you do is you start responding to other people's emergencies. I want you to control the first part of your day. Chart your start. Understand what it is that makes you come alive. Understand what is the action that helps you feel bold, creative, unstoppable. We've all had it. You've all had moments where you have felt bold, courageous, and unstoppable. What led to that? Reverse engineer yourself. What led to you feeling bold? Is it watching a video? Is it reading a book? Is it having a conversation? Is it doing a meditation? Is it taking your dog out for a walk? Is it cutting the grass? Like, I don't care. There's no judgment. I don't care what the thing is that makes you feel bold and courageous and unstoppable. I just want you to do it daily. I want you to start your day with intention. Most people don't start their day with intention, and that makes a difference between the people who achieve success and the ones who don't. And so chart your start. Figure out the thing that makes you come alive, that makes you feel like that big crazy idea of yours is actually possible, and put that into the first 15 minutes of every day. If you did the thing that made you feel bold, courageous, and unstoppable in the first 15 minutes of waking up every single day, not every day will be amazing, but I guarantee you that your life will look unrecognizable from where you are right now. Chart your start. Number 2 is Flex the X. One of the things I love doing is I get an annual calendar. I'm working on making a custom branded one here, but an annual calendar, and every time that you hit your main goals, you cross it off. And what you want to do is not break the pattern. Right? Flex the X. We're getting strong, raw, and you're building momentum. I'm a big fan of momentum. I think we don't have enough momentum in our lives, in our businesses, and towards our goals. Where you see something like this, where you see that I did it yesterday, I did it before, I've been doing it for months, you don't want to break the pattern. And so flexing the X, feel proud about every single time that you do the thing that you want to do. So for me, the 2 most important habits that I have on here, one is fasting until noon. And so the only thing I'll have before noon is a coffee or a tea or some water, and then 30 minutes of cardio. So I'm running for 30 minutes a day. I went to Boston and we got in at 3 a.m. We drove all the way there and I was really tired, but I wanted to get my X. And so 3 o'clock, everybody's going to sleep. I'm still running for half an hour. The only exceptions, if I'm super sick, if I'm on medication, which doesn't really happen that often, then I'll give myself a break. Then I'll be gentle on myself. But most of the time, it's not that you can't do it. Most of the time, it's not that you're not able to do it. You're just procrastinating. You're just being lazy. You're just being tired. And so having a system like this where you can flex the X is super important so that you build momentum. You build momentum to actually accomplishing the habits, because success is a habit. Because again, everything you want out of life is on the other side of you doing the consistent habits every single day. And when you can track them like this and feel the momentum, it's so much easier to keep going. Flex the X. And number 3 is your actions have to map to your ambitions. What I love doing, and as an entrepreneur, we love being planners. We love thinking about the life that we want to have and the schedule that we want to create. Is what's in your calendar allowing you to accomplish your goals? Do your actions map to your ambitions? It's great to be motivated. It's great to watch a video like this. It's great to get some ideas. Your best immediate course of action is now looking at your calendar and saying, if I did these actions from Sunday to Sunday, and put your life in there, from the relationships that you want to have, from the business growth you want to have, every goal that you have, business and personal, if you did the actions that were in your calendar, would you come closer to accomplishing those goals? And for too many of you, it's no. For too many of you, you have ideas, you have ambitions, you have drive, you have goals and hopes and dreams. But then when you look at what's actually in your calendar, you're spending very little time on actually moving the ball forward on those goals. Now I get it. Maybe you have a full-time job. Maybe you have other responsibilities. Great. That's okay. The goal is to make those chunks bigger towards spending on our dreams and goals. But even those little actions, like your first action may be, I need to quit my job. I need to make enough money so that I can quit my job and do this entrepreneurship thing full time. Awesome. Let me look at your calendar. Are you spending enough time every week doing the activities that you need to do so you can build your business to the point where you can quit your job? Do your actions map to your ambitions? And so it's great to come up with a list of goals and dreams, and we're going to hit these targets in 30 days. And it's super fun to do those exercises. What's more important than just having those goals is the habits. It's what's in your schedule, making sure your actions map to your ambitions. And so great, have your goals, but then immediately, like right now, dive into your calendar every day of the week and look, if I did these things, if I did everything according to my schedule, assuming you're going to stick to your schedule, right? If you did all those things, would you be moving closer to accomplishing the life that you want? Yes or no? And if it's no, then you need to make corrections. And that's where too many of you are falling down, and I want to see you win. Your actions need to map to your ambitions.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, I've designed a special free training to help you do it. The science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a new habit. And I want that for you. I want you to build the habit of self-belief. So what I'm going to do is email you every day for 254 days a link to an unlisted video that will shift your belief forward. To get on it for free, the link to join is in the description below.
Find whatever the smallest first step is, and then the smallest next step is, and continue to build those steps. And when you look back, you'll have realized that you made some pretty significant progress.
You can use rejection as fuel to help you go off and do something bigger and motivation to, I'm going to prove them wrong.
It's got to be your life's work. If you only had to write one book ever in your life, this is it, and it's got to be amazing.
Rule number 5, act now.
The decisions that you make when you're feeling bold are actually the right ones for you, and your head starts talking you down from doing them. When you're feeling bold, unstoppable, confident, powerful, and you make a decision, you make a choice, you say, I'm gonna go off and do this thing, that is actually the best thing that you need to go off and do. You have to listen to it. You have to take that jump. Otherwise, you will still be in the same spot you are currently in right now, 5 years from today. So I just came back from doing a tour, 90-day tour, 23 different cities. It all started because I was walking down the street on a warm summer day last year, and I decided I'm gonna take Nina, my wife, to every city in North America with 1 million plus people. Crazy goal, right? My next evolution, the next leap, the next jump. Every city in North America with my wife, let's go. And then your head gets in the way. Then your head starts thinking, how many cities are there? How do we plan for this? Nina has a full-time job. How are we gonna make it all work? What's the timeline gonna be? Your default first step needs to be action instead of thinking. What most of us will do as soon as you come up with an idea is you go home and you think, and you plan and you ponder and you strategize and you think, and you use all of your creative, bold, confident energy into planning. The problem is you wake up the next day a different person. You wake up the next day thinking, I can't do that. I can't go to every city in North America with 1 million plus people. I can't do this. I can't do that. You come up with all the reasons that are logical, that are practical as to why you can no longer do that thing. You were feeling bold and confident yesterday, but today you can't do it. That's why your default first step needs to be action. Use that bold, creative, powerful energy into action, into committing yourself to doing something and taking what I call the first 2%. The 2% difference. That means don't go home and plan your way to hitting 100% of your goal. Immediately take the first 2% action to move a tiny bit closer to your goal. And so I said, I'm gonna take my wife Nina every city in North America, 1 million plus people. Great. What's my first step? Not researching how many cities, not trying to figure out how Nina's gonna quit her job, not any of that stuff, not planning, not strategizing. It's this weekend, we're gonna go to Boston. Because I knew Boston had 1 million plus people and I knew Nina hadn't been there yet. So we're gonna go to Boston. It was actually the wrong plan. It wasn't the closest city. I thought it was the closest city, but there's multiple cities that are closer. But the imperfect plan that you act on is better than the perfect plan that you sit on and never do anything about. And so we went to Boston that weekend. It was a Wednesday afternoon. I decided by Friday night we were leaving and driving to Boston. Action. This is a thing that most people are missing. You don't have enough action. The 2% difference. Stop planning to 100% and figure out what the smallest possible, simplest version of doing that thing is right now, immediately, today. You have made bold decisions in your life. You have decided, I want to go do this. I want to play a bigger game. You've been inspired by a video, by a conference, by a conversation. You've been inspired. You've woken up. Some days, not frequently enough, but you've woken up and felt, I should be doing this. That thing is the thing that you should be doing. That's the thing. It is. But you only spend 2% of your time believing in that thing. And so the way to get to actually living there is taking the 2% difference. Immediate action when you're feeling bold, powerful, and unstoppable. So let's go through an exercise. Let me walk you through how to actually do it, because I want you to walk away with this today after watching this video. We're not here just to get motivated and watch another video. It's action. From all of these videos that you watch, it's gotta be action on your goals, movement towards hitting your dreams. So step number 1 is get motivated. Whatever that means to you, whatever helps you get motivated. Maybe you already are right now. Maybe just this energy, watching this video, you're motivated, you're thinking of a bigger world for yourself. But if it's not this, great, what is it? Is it meditation? Is it going for a walk outside? Is it watching some other videos, or listen to a podcast, reading a book, meditating, like whatever the thing is? What's the thing for you? Get motivated right now. You know it's possible. You know you've done it before. Get motivated right now. That's step number 1. Step number 2, come up with a bolder vision of your life. What does the bold version of your life look like? You can't create a bold version of your life when you're not feeling motivated. If you feel like crap, you're feeling like ordinary, you're feeling like average, you're feeling like mediocre, so yeah, okay, well, I wish I could go do that thing. No, what? No. You create bold plans when you're feeling bold. So step 1 is you get bold, you get motivated. Step 2 is now you create a bold version of your life. What does that look like? What are you doing? Who are you hanging with? What does your business look like? What are you doing on a day-to-day basis? What does the bold vision for your future life look like? And then step number 3 is do the 2% immediately. Great, that's what it can look like, but the path to get there is going to be very different. You don't know the path, it's nebulous. Don't spend the rest of your day planning out your path. No, you are losing your energy. You are losing momentum. You have your bold version, you have your bold vision, amazing. 2% time. What's the first step that you're going to commit to doing right now, and then go off and do it? You are not allowed to go home and sleep tonight and put your head on your pillow tonight without having taken action, without committing to somebody that you're gonna do something. Research is an action. Planning is an action. Strategizing is an action. Taking action is action. Telling somebody you're gonna do something and then do it is action. Committing, buying that ticket, making that phone call, recording that first video, that's action. And you take the first step, even though you don't know how it's going to lead to you getting to your ultimate destination. That's a 2% difference. I want to see you do it.
Rule number 6, change your environment.
Everyone is born an optimist, and then your environment sucks the soul out of most people. When you're a baby, you don't stress out about how you look, what you're wearing, or how you're smelling. When you're a kid, you don't hate your life and complain about the world. If there's negativity in your head, it was put there by someone. And if you want to change it, you need to change your environment. So I've had the good pleasure of seeing one of my friends, Mark Drager, a great friend of the channel, been involved with the channel for a number of years, become more optimistic, become more positive. And he was wondering, could I even do it? Is it possible? He was a guy who was naturally pessimistic. He had a lot of stuff happen to him, like we all have, a lot of situations, a lot of circumstances that made him see the negative of what's happening, of be pessimistic, of not being the typical optimistic, everything's gonna work out great entrepreneur. And so what changed? Over the past 12 months, he's made a significant investment in himself. I've been hanging around with him a lot more. We've co-hosted a podcast together. He's hanging around me, my content, Gary Vee's content, Tom Bilyeu's content more. He's been to Tony Robbins' seminar twice in the past year, brought his team with him, and he's slowly inching towards more optimism, more positivity, that more things are possible. Because of the negative upbringing that he had, it takes a lot of unwiring. It takes a lot of shifting your focus. It takes a lot of, with purpose, with intent, changing your environment, changing the people you hang out with, changing the physical environment that you're in to make a change. I went to Mark's office and he's moving his office. He's creating his own office. He's putting a picture on the wall of himself and then what he wants to be as positive inspiration every day. He's looking at what kind of colors and what kind of furnishings and what kind of decor can I have in my office to make me feel bold, to make me feel alive every single day. It's possible. And I think that's the starting point for a lot of people. It's possible to change your outlook. It's possible to become more optimistic. That negativity that was planted in your head was put there by somebody else who hates their life. You were not born to wake up and hate your life. You were not born to wake up and think that it's just negativity all around the world. You're not born to wake up and be a pessimist. You're not. It was put there by somebody else who hated their life. And we need to eject that person. We need to unwire the years or decades of training. And in that void, you replace it with the thing that you want. If you want more optimism, you surround yourself with the most optimistic people you can find. In person, on your team, in video format, in the books you read, in the clubs you're hanging out with. You first limit access from the negative people, limit exposure. You may not be able to completely wipe them out, like maybe they're your parents. But you can limit exposure, you can limit access, either with time or just topics that you're covering, and then inject more positivity and optimism to the people, books, resources, environment that you have around you. Now I have a 3-step process for you to follow. I think you're gonna enjoy it. I hope it helps. Step 1 is create a 254. So the 254 series I made, we've got, 5 or 6 of them, where every day for the next 254 days, I send you a video on a different topic. So it could be about self-love, it could be about confidence, it could be about writer's wisdom, it could be about Black excellence, girl boss. We have a whole bunch of different series that are geared towards helping you feel more confident in a certain area of life. So if you want to have more self-love, then every day for 254 days, I send you a free video. I've talked about it a bunch on this channel. There's links in the description. You can go check it out. It's absolutely free. But whether it's coming from me or you find your own source, you need to create your own 254. You need to create your own thing that every day you're consuming that slowly starts to shift your perspective on things, that slowly makes you feel like this is actually possible. I made my channel selfishly for me. I wanted to be around Elon Musk and Tony Robbins and Oprah on a daily basis and get their messages in my head to make me feel like more is possible, that this is not my final resting place. And then I share it with you guys, and thankfully you like it too. So you need to create your own version of that. I made my channel for me. I made the 254s for you. Maybe I haven't picked the right one. My goal is to have 1,000 254s. Now, why 254? Because it takes 18 to 254 days of successive action for a habit to form. The average is 66 days. So if you're trying to start a new habit, it takes an average of 66 days for you to form it. The fastest case is 18 days, and the slowest, the worst case is 254 days. So I made the 254 series because even if you are the slowest learner, the slowest human alive, the most stubborn person, I'm gonna be there with you every step of the way for 254 days. So whatever the habit is you want to build, if it's optimism, then surround yourself with something, some resource, some information, some video, some book. Every day you're consuming micro-dosing. Every single day you will become it. Step number 2 is collect good people. I have this saying where I love collecting good people. I love collecting people who make me feel more energetic, positive, happy, belief. When you find somebody like that, collect them, hold on to them, even if you don't know how it's going to work out yet. I was driving through the desert thinking about my buddy Mark, and I thought we should do a podcast together. I don't know why I thought that. It just came to me. I don't consume a single podcast. But I thought, you know what? I like Mark. I like Mark's energy. It'd be fun to do something together. He loves podcasts. Why don't we do a podcast together? And he said yes. And ever since then, that night we made our first podcast while I was on the road. And ever since then, every week we've done a new podcast. You can go check it out. It's called the Something to Prove Podcast. It comes out at least once a week. Collect good people. Think about the people in your life right now who make you feel good about yourself, who make you feel more belief in yourself, who make you feel more confident, more optimistic, more positive. Who are those people? And then try to find a way to spend more time with them. Whether it's a weekly coffee you're hanging out, whether it's an actual project you can work on together, try to find those people that make you feel like you come alive. There's already a few. There's probably not enough in your life right now, but there may be 1 or 2 or 3. Try to spend more time with them, and then keep your radar open, your spidey senses tingling for people that you meet that make you feel great, and try to collect them and do work together. And number 3 is damn the Doritos. Damn the Doritos. Why do I have this here? People keep leaving comments. When are you gonna eat the Doritos? I'm not gonna eat the Doritos. The whole idea of having this Dorito, they're not a sponsor of the channel. The whole idea of having the Doritos here is because I love Doritos. I want to eat these things every single day. I want to eat this bag every single day. Even just talking about it, my mouth is watering so much. So we went to Costco and I bought a giant bag of Doritos, and this is where I'm working. This is where I work all day long. My computer's right here. This is how I'm working normally. Right here, there's Steve Jobs, and then there's the giant bag of Doritos right here, kind of staring me down every day. And what this is a reminder. It's a reminder that I'm stronger than the Doritos. Because damn the Doritos. Because the Doritos aren't going to win. The Doritos aren't going to beat me. And so my ultimate goal for you in changing your environment is, yes, we want to inject more. We want to create a 254 for ourselves. We want to change our physical environment. We want to collect good people and be around them. But my ultimate goal is also that when you are around negativity, when you're around something that can drag you down, that you can still be in the same room and it doesn't drag you down. This is proof to myself every day how awesome I am. At least that's the story that I'm telling myself, right? I'm not going to eat those Doritos today. I'm not going to eat those Doritos today. I'm stronger than the Doritos. Damn the Doritos. My ultimate goal for you would be when you're around someone who is negative, when you're around a toxic environment, when you can't change something, this is your chance to show yourself what you're made of. That you are now better, you've grown, you're a different human being, you can handle being around it. I think that's ultimately where your self-confidence comes from, the ability to do difficult things. And so steps 1 and 2 are bring in more positivity. And if you need to eliminate some of the negativity, awesome, I love it. Cut off exposure, cut off access, and bring in more positivity every day. And then get to the point where there's so much optimism, belief, vitamin C injected into you that if somebody comes to you with their negativity and they sneeze on you, you're not catching a cold because you've done the work. And if anything, you're going to create a gravitational pull that makes them feel more happy, more optimistic, more positive. If I'm hanging around a negative person, if I'm around a negative person every day, they will become more positive. It's just going to happen. My gravitational force is so big around belief. It's my one word. You're not going to get me to go anti-belief. It just won't happen. I just believe in you so much. I'm going to suck you in to belief. You will love your life more. You will do greater things just by being around me every day. And I think that's what I want for you as well. It's not about bragging about myself. It's you. I want you to have that same impact. That then you can hang around the negative people. You can be close to them. And in that being close, you're not going to go negative. You're going to force them to come more positive.
Rule number 7, ask for help.
Not asking for help is selfish. You might think that trying to do everything yourself is selfless, that it's wrong to ask for help and noble to do everything yourself. But you love helping people. You love helping others. Remember that joy you feel when you help somebody and brought a smile to their face knowing you made their week? By you not asking for help, you're cheating people of that opportunity to bring a smile to their face. Stop being selfish and start asking for help. I came up with this idea when I was at a video game cafe. So here's what happened. I was on a call with one of my big customers at the time, and I was in Los Angeles, and we're doing a Google Live, streaming to my YouTube channel, lots of people watching, YouTube Live, I'm interviewing him, and then the internet goes down. Like, what happened? The power went out across all of Los Angeles. The power goes out and it's down. I got nothing. The stream is still live, but I'm not there anymore. I left my client live on the stream, and he's not sure what happens. He just sees my camera go down, and then he keeps going by himself for another 15, 20 minutes, waiting for me to come back. And he's embarrassed, and it's awkward, and he doesn't know what he's doing because the host who has the audience there is now gone. And then eventually he just leaves because he said, well, I don't know where Evan is, but thank you guys for watching. And it put him in a really difficult situation. I felt terrible. I went back to watching the live stream after, like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Now, it's out of my control. The internet goes down in Los Angeles. What am I supposed to do? There's no power anywhere. So as soon as the power gets back up, I message my client and say, hey man, I'm really sorry about that. Let's reschedule it. Let's do it again when I'm back home in Toronto, where I know I have stable internet, and I want to do it again for free, no extra cost. Even though we had almost finished the live stream together, we're gonna do a whole other one for free just because I want to make this right for you. Great. So we come back to Toronto. It's like a week or two later. And my internet is pretty rock solid in my home office. I've never had an internet issue really happen while I was doing a live stream, but I wanted to make extra sure that this time nothing happened, because if something happened the second time, like, just, it would not be a good thing. So I asked my friend Jay Rise, and I said, Jay Rise, I need a place that has rock solid internet that I'm gonna do this live stream and nothing can go wrong. And he said, I got a place, it's an internet cafe that I go to. I'll introduce you to the owner. I know him, and you can do it there. Like, thank you so much. So we go there. I'm there an hour early. I'm setting up. I'm talking to the owner. I'm testing the gear, my microphone, the headset, all of it, the camera, testing all of it, just to make sure that everything is working smoothly. I'm nervous because the last time it failed on us. My client comes on. We go live for half an hour, I don't remember, and it was smooth, perfect, no issues, crisp, amazing internet, blazing fast speeds. Great time with the audience, and we delivered an awesome product. Sigh of relief, right? I'm so pumped. I go talk to the owner and say, dude, thank you, man. It was perfect. No complaints, no problems. Thank you so much. How much do I owe you? And he said, well, you were on the computer for about an hour and a half, and Jay Raj was on the computer for about an hour and a half, but I'll just bundle it together. So I forget what he told me. It was like $5 or $7 or $10 or something. Like, are you kidding me? I would have paid $1,000. I would have paid a lot of money just to make sure that this went smoothly, because it's the relationship with my client at the time, right? I said, okay, well, great. Here's the $7 that you wanted. Awesome. Let me buy some stuff from behind the counter. Let me buy some snacks from my friend Jay Rise. Jay Rise was hungry. He needed to eat. So like, here's $20, $25. Let me just buy out a whole bunch of your snacks and give it to him. He's like, no, you don't have to do that, man. Don't worry about it. Like, no, I want to do it. Let me buy the snack. No, don't worry about it. The owner thought that he was doing a good thing. The owner thought that he was being selfless, that, hey, don't worry, but you don't have to do it. That just paying for the internet was enough for him. But he was actually being selfish. In that moment, he was being selfish because he cheated me of the opportunity of, one, saying thank you. I wanted to pay more. I want to pay more. You're cheating me of the opportunity to do it, and you're cheating me of the opportunity to help my friend Jay Rise and give him some food because he was hungry, so we had to go somewhere else. You need to be willing to bring other people in. You need to be willing to ask for help. Yes, you don't want to waste your time. Yes, you want to be respectful. Yes, but people love helping others. We are built to serve. You want to help other people. That joy that you feel when you help somebody out, allow it to come into other people's hearts too. And it only comes when you open up and you ask for help and you say, hey, I'm really struggling with this thing right now. And I could really use some help. And people may not be willing to do it. They may not have the time to do it. Don't be too pushy and don't be too overwhelming. But don't be selfish at the same time too. So now how do you do it? I'm gonna give you a 3-step process on how to ask for help and stop being selfish. Step number 1 is, what are you struggling with right now? What are you struggling with right now? Well, where do you need help in your business? Listen, entrepreneurship is rough, right? You're wearing all the hats. What do you need the most help with now? Whether it's strategy, whether it's a new skill set you need to learn, whether it's just taking off some of the operational stuff that you have to do in your business, right? The day-to-day, the grind, is just overwhelmed with project work. What do you need help with? Number 2, who is an expert at that thing? Who do you know? Who have you helped before? Who's in your circle? Who is an expert at that thing? Who, by them spending a little bit of time with you, could make a really big impact on your business? Make that list. And step number 3 is reach out to them with love, appreciation, and 0 expectations. Explain the story. Explain how much this would mean to you. Explain why you're struggling and how you want to use this thing to get to the next level in your business, in your career, in your mission, in your vision, and then how they could be an important part of it. With love, but 0 expectations. If they say they're busy, don't be hurt by it. If they say, sorry, I can't help, that's okay. But reach out. Don't take the yes away from them. The problem when you don't reach out is you're saying no for them. When you don't reach out, you're saying no for them. And a lot of people would want to say yes to you.
Rule number 8, the last one before our very special bonus clip. Don't stay in mediocrity.
If you are the most ambitious person that you know, you are going to play small for life. Look around at your friends, your family, the people that you hang out with. What do they want out of life? If you're the one always pushing them and no one's pushing you, guess what happens? You don't get the push that you need and you stay in mediocrity, being the best in a group of unambitious people. So I just came back from an event in Florida that I was doing a keynote at, and at the end, I challenged an entrepreneur who showed up to make some changes on his YouTube channel. We met over dinner, I helped him with his YouTube channel, it was him and his business partner sitting there, and I said, by tomorrow, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go in and make sure you have these things updated. And he said, yes, I'll do it. I said, it's important to do it by tomorrow because I'm still here. I'm still here in the morning. If you need anything, you can ask me face to face while I'm still here before I fly home to Toronto. Yes, I'll do it. Next morning comes around. We show up in a meeting. I got a meetup happening. We got, I don't know, 30 people who showed up to meet with me. And I see him out of the corner of my eye sitting at the back of the room. And I say, hey, did you do the thing that I told you to do? And he said, no, I didn't do it. I said, why? What happened? He said, well, we were doing lots of other stuff. It's been a full day. You know, we had this entire day of speaking and meeting people. And then so much information went home. We were doing all this kind of work. Okay, great. But what about the promise that you made to me to do it? And then his business partner chimes in and said, you know, it's actually my fault. I told him. Evan's probably not going to notice. He's not going to remember. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it when we all fly back home. And so I told him, don't let your business partner's low standards prevent you from moving forward on the things that you said you were going to do. Staying committed to the thing that you say you're going to do, your word to yourself, is the whole game. Forget about what you just say to other people. What do you do for yourself? Because we're often looking for no's. We're often looking for somebody else to give us a break. Right? He's been working hard, and he is. And I know him, and I know his business partner, and these guys are not slackers. They're not slackers. And I was poking a little bit at his business partner, saying his low expectations, his low standards. But in this situation, it was true. The entrepreneur that I was speaking to said he was gonna do this thing by tomorrow morning before he came and went to my event. He would do it. And his business partner says he's not gonna remember. Don't worry, we've worked too hard already. Let it go. We'll do it when we get home. And they would do it when they got home. I know they would. He's looking for the reason not to do it. When you say you wanna hit the gym, when you say you want to hit these business goals, when you say you want to have this outcome and be proud of the effort that you put in every day, when you say that you're going to do something, there will be moments where you want to let yourself off the hook, where you say, I work so hard, or I'm so tired, or I deserve a break, right? This is the language you use to yourself. And so when that happens, you're looking for affirmations from the people around you. And if you are the most ambitious person in your friend group, if you are the most ambitious person, what's going to happen? They're gonna say, you already work so hard anyway. What are you talking about? Yes, of course. Give yourself the break. And it's the exact answer that you're looking for, because you want to give yourself a break. Now, if you're proud of your effort, maybe you should take a break. But it's not because somebody with lower standards gave you the pass. It's because you're proud of the effort that you put in. And so this is where it gets really dangerous. When you are the most successful, the most ambitious person from the people around you, they're always gonna give you a reason to play smaller. You can't accept it. You have to push through. You need to change your environment. I'm gonna give you 3 ways to do it. Step number 1 is collect good people. I like to say I'm in the business of collecting good people. You wanna collect good people. Somebody that you meet on the street, at an event, online, collect them. Find ways to stay in touch. Follow them on Instagram and on YouTube and comment on their stuff. Tell them, sometimes it gets super awkward. I've told people, I really like you. I really love your style. I really like everything you're doing. I just wanna stay in touch. And maybe that means you're just DMing them when you have questions. Maybe that means you're setting something formal up, or you're having a coffee meeting every month to connect. Maybe that means you're asking them, business questions whenever you have them. There's a lot of different ways that the relationship can take shape. And this is where a lot of people fall down, is you expect to have the answer in your head, and when you don't know what the relationship will look like, you don't go for it, because you don't know what to present. You don't know what to pitch. You don't know what to say. And so you say nothing. And that's the worst case scenario. Don't do that. Tell somebody, I love your vibe. I love the energy. How do we stay in touch? And then whatever flows, flows. You have to be in the business of collecting good people. You want good people around you, not just for your team, but people who are your peers, people who can be your mentors. Because when you get that situation, when you say, I promised myself that I would do this tomorrow, I promised myself that before tomorrow morning this would happen, the people around you are saying, dude, what are you doing? Let's go. Not, you work so hard, you deserve a break. No, let's go. You promised yourself you would do it. Come on. They pull you up to be the best version of you. Step number 2 is get aspirational mentors. I love being around people who've done a lot more than me. This is actually my default. I don't really have people in my life who push me to be better. I don't have too many people around me say, Evan, you really suck at this. Let's go, get better, get better, get better. I get most of mine from aspirational mentors, from Steve Jobs and AP Giannini and Howard Schultz and Kanye West, the videos that I put up every single day on my channel. So I had a buddy of mine say, I really love it when you do a David Goggins video. Or another one yesterday said, I really love it when you do Kobe Bryant. Great, if you know that Kobe inspires you or David inspires you, then surround yourself with him, right? Watch their YouTube videos, watch their interviews, have a Google alert that comes at any time it says Kobe Bryant interview or David Goggins interview, you get a notification. Listen to their podcast if they have one. Read their book, listen to their audios, right? As much as possible, be around that, because the more you are around that, they're training you to think like they think. They're pulling you up to their level, even if you never meet them. That's what I try to do with my channel every day, is I need it selfishly for myself. There's people that I surround myself with daily. I want Elon Musk and Steve Jobs and Oprah Winfrey and these people pulling me up to make me better. So get yourself some aspirational mentors, the people that you look up to and say, man, I wish I could be like them. You can. You just have to think like them. And the way to think like them and act like them and have the mindset of them is to be around them more often. And step number 3 is play bigger triggers. I like having triggers in my environment that force me to remind myself of who I am, of who I would like to be, of what I'm becoming. So you can have the greatest day of all time. Maybe you watch this video and you're fired up, you get motivated, say, yes, I'm gonna go and do some work. Awesome. You're gonna wake up tomorrow and be the person who you used to be again. You wake up tomorrow and it's a new day. Every day is a new day. And so you might remember to do something, but chances are you may not. And so that's why having play bigger triggers in your environment, you set them up once and it reminds you to go off and play a bigger game. So my office, there's a bunch of play bigger triggers here, right? There's mentors of mine, including my parents, who are looking at me every time I walk into here. There's the awards down here, which remind me of what I do, that 1 million people have subscribe to my channel. Now we're at 2. It's a crazy number that when I'm coming to make a video, lots of people are watching it. I have my neck braces down there to remind myself of when I broke my neck. I kept going on my tour. I've got my Doritos here to remind myself that I'm stronger than these Doritos. Damn the Doritos. These things are stronger than me? No, all I want to do is eat this bag every single day. And standing here is a reminder of how awesome I am. At least that's what I'm telling myself, right? They're all play bigger triggers. So what's in your physical environment? What's the background on your cell phone? What's the background on your desktop? How can you set up your environment once, just with some thoughtful thinking once, that then every time you walk into it, it lifts you up.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you just get inspired, you watch a video, you get motivated, amazing. The science says you have a 35% chance of actually doing something, actually following through. That, Believe Nation, is not enough. That is not you, not now, not anymore, not today. But when you get inspired and then you create a specific plan of action for what you're gonna do, that number jumps to 91% chance of you following through. And when you commit publicly to others, like leaving a comment in this video, it jumps to 95%. So the question of the day is your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below, and maybe next week I'll profile you.
I'm really introverted. It doesn't come across, right? But I am. I'm really introverted. I don't talk to people on the airplane next to me. Is Justin in the house? There's Justin. So I sat next to Justin on the airplane on the way down. So usually I just tell it as a theoretical example, but I actually sat next to somebody on the airplane, Justin, and he's trying to make small talk, and I wasn't trying to be rude, just small talk makes me anxious. Like, it gives me crazy anxiety. And so I remember everything he said. I remember he woke up at 4 a.m. to catch a 6 a.m. flight, to get in at 2 a.m. here with me. He likes his coffee decaf with 1 sugar and 1 cream. He has a black leather Toomey bag. And so, like, I remember all this stuff, but we didn't really talk. Like, that's pretty much all we talked about on this 5-hour flight down from Newark to here. And so I just get super anxious when doing small talk and networking. At the same time, I'm scared to make videos. So on my YouTube channel right now, have you guys watched some of my videos on YouTube? Okay, decent. All right. I've got 6,000 videos recorded on my YouTube channel. 2 million subscribers, 300 million views, all organic. I'm the organic guy. These guys are pros at paid ads. I'm not fantastic at that, but organic, I'm your guy. And I still get afraid to turn on the camera and press record. 6,000 videos later, because I want to be an icon too, and I want to get my message out. And every video that I make, I want it to be the best I've ever done. But I'm still afraid to go out and make the content. Being on stage always gives me crazy anxiety, right? I was speaking a couple weeks ago in Whistler, and the speaker before me was David Goggins. You know David Goggins? He's like the most intense human alive, crazy Navy SEAL ninja. And then the guy after me was football player Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was out. So it's like David Goggins, me, Peyton Manning. All right, right? Like boom, 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 right? And in all honesty, last year when I spoke at Growth, I had the biggest panic attack of my life backstage. It's 10 minutes before going live. There's this big wind up and lead up and like, just bring me out, just bring me out. I can't wait to go. And my heart's going like crazy. And I just forgot how I was going to start my presentation. Right? I just blanked. Have you guys had that happen where you're about to get on a call or a presentation and you had it all down, you practiced 1,000 times, but then you just go blank? Great, that was me. Just before I'm about to come up and speak to a couple thousand people. It was the first time I met Brendan. So, he invited me out. We connected through Ethan. It was the first time I met him. He was doing an interview backstage, and they said, hey, Evan, I'm going to end my interview because I want to make sure that I'm watching your presentation. Like, oh my gosh, come on, really? Can't you just have a coffee or something backstage? But it's great. And he's going to give me feedback. Like, oh my God, okay, I'm ready for the feedback. And so I get on stage and do my thing. But just before that, what got me over it was I took a little peek behind the curtain, and I saw a bunch of you guys. And I reminded myself that I'm not here for me. I'm here for you. Right? Don't be so selfish. Right? Yeah, you can clap that up. It's not about me, it's about the message. And so the reason why, and even this lead up here, I'm sitting backstage, Ethan's calming me down because my heart's going crazy. Brendan is talking about the genius ideas that I told him backstage, oh my God, Brendan, look at the setup. Oh, I better deliver. And I tell you this because I've seen a lot of people from the Arizona event. I got stopped a lot over the past couple days, and they said, Evan, I loved your speech. It was amazing. Like, oh, thank you. Did you start your channel? Where is it? It's like, oh, no, I haven't done it yet. I'm like, what? That was how many months ago? You loved my speech, but what happened? And at the end of the day, it's just fear. You can come up with a really logical reason why you haven't posted yet, but really you're afraid that it's not perfect. You're afraid that nobody's going to watch it. You're afraid that people are going to watch it. You're afraid you don't know the technology, you don't know the gear, you don't know the team. You're just afraid, and we cover it with the reason why we can't do it, right? But really it's just fear. And so I wanted to share my fear with you because you might look at Dean and Brendan and all these mentors that you have, and they come on stage and they just look amazing. And you're like, well, I can never be like that. But at least for my story, I'm always scared. Right? I'm always playing anxious and nervous. I think if you don't have anything that makes you anxious or nervous in your life, then you hate your life. Right? Because then you're just staying inside your comfort zone. You know exactly what to do. You're photocopying your life over and over and over again. And so life isn't about having no fears. It's about conquering the fears. What Dean said yesterday about having the courage to jump out of the helicopter, right? To be on the edge here of the helicopter or the plane and say, I'm going to jump, to have the courage to do that. That's what you guys need to do. And why I share it is because the biggest reason why you guys aren't taking the action on the most logical opportunity, the biggest opportunity in front of your face right now is just because of fear.
If you want to stop being stuck at being average, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. I will see you there. Continue to believe.
You have Michael Jordan level talent at something, but instead of being world class at that thing, you settled for being just above average